Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the road trip. I am, I am DWTT, known to some as Gary, and we got Mr. Tom with me. Some call him Wee Man. Some call
No one calls me that. No one calls me that apart from you and the person that copies you. But the less said about that individual.
All right. So, Mr. Tom joins us. How you doing, Mr. Tom?
I'm not bad. It's only where I'm now sitting here I realise I've not got my microphone set up. So
All right.
I'm gonna disappear to reset that up because
Okay. All right. We'll be here when you come back.
unprofessional. I do apologise. I'll be 20. You know what? I don't know how long it'll be. It'll take as long as it takes for me to go restart. Blah blah blah.
All right. We'll be
You've
here.
already done it by now. I'm just wasting your time at this point, Gary. I'll be back in a jiffy, as some
All
say.
right.
Not me,
All
but
right.
some.
All
See you
right,
soon.
guys. And wow, well, you don't even know what just happened. It's been less than a minute, and we all should be happy. That team, wham, is down already. Wow, 55 seconds in, Bueno takes a ball. Wow, I don't know what they call that. I think they call that I don't know, it's not a scissor kick, but he does have one leg on the ground, but he just takes it a nice volley shot from him, and the goalkeeper, by the time he knows it, it's over. Wow. Well, I guess we'll say hello to everybody who joins us, who's here with us. Steve is in the house. Welcome to the show. Yeah, you know what? I set the show up at 7:30 this morning on my side. Silly me, silly me, silly me. I corrected it like 30 minutes before the show was supposed to start. So I'm glad nobody was sitting there waiting for 2.5 hours. But yeah, we're good. Yeah, Wee Man. Yeah, Wee Tom. Stefan joins us. That's a new one. We'll call him Wee Tom. I'll do that. Well, when he comes back. And as I just said, I decided, I'm gonna have like Goal Rush, which is the channel that the Peacock streaming service has that allows you to see. It basically brings out all the goal scorers on there. But it's Liverpool is the main game, and then I have in the little screen on my computer here, I've got the that team playing just because I like to see them lose. Right now they're losing 1 minute in, so there you go. There you go. And we'll get into it. What happened earlier today? Earlier today, West Ham invited Chelsea over, and basically West Ham decided not to bring any form of defense. They're lucky that they only lost 3-0. Should have been worse. Could have been worse for sure. Maduke, poor day from him in terms of decision makings and clinical shooting and all of that. Should have been over. Should have been over by a lot. Just to say that it was over once the first goal went in because that was that's a problem for them. So yeah, so that team is down. We're taking it. Yes, very easy game from that team in blue. And oh my, it's a busy day already. 3.5 minutes in, and Liverpool also is down. Wow, wow. Yes, yes, yes. I said it here. Liverpool is down at home to Bournemouth. Right? That's how you say it. Yeah. Yep. Bournemouth have a lead. So, oh, they're saying he's offsides. So let's see. Yeah, he's offsides. Wow. He's offsides. That's how. Yeah, if that ball, if he was not onside, I don't think he gets to the ball first. I think Kanate intercepts it, but just a bit long and very nice. But it's probably coming back. We've got Tayyib Hussan in the house. Welcome to the show. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well, my man. Saying hello to everybody. Yeah. West Ham not looking good. I don't think they've won yet, have they? All right, have they won a game this year? Let's see, have they won a game? Coming into this game, let's see where they were. They were sitting 14th with 4 points, so they have won a game. But today's game did not help. So we've got another score alert here. Looks like Fulham is up on Newcastle. So what? Raul Jimenez with a goal. I'm just reading the alerts. I haven't seen it yet on the goal thing, but we shall see. Everybody saying hello to everybody. Everybody saying hello to everybody. Southampton is up on Ipswich. Lots of early goals. Everybody's like, you know what? They're gonna jump on these teams early, right? Get it over with. Yep. So West Ham need a new manager already. Some people say he won't make it through next weekend. We'll see. Yep, Southampton is up 1-0 on Ipswich. Oof. There we go. Everybody, the little pleasantries. Mr. Tom is here. For some reason, oh, he's waiting for me to, I guess, bring him in because it is my show. But we'll do that. So welcome to the show. It's for the second time today. It's Tom. I mean Tom. I mean Mr. Tom. Damn it, what's
Yeah,
your name?
yeah.
Thomas. I don't know.
Yep. Okay, Pillsbury Doughboy with chocolate added to the mix.
That
Okay.
was now talking about racist. Now that's racist right there.
No.
You
That's
don't-
one thing I'm
no,
not.
if you want to know what that word was, you just did it. Like Exhibit A, Your Honor, right there.
So what's going on down at Southampton?
Yeah, Southampton is.
Hello, Ty. Was saying your teapot. How you doing?
Yeah, Ipswich is struggling today. Well, early.
That's terrible. It's terrible. Upsets
Hey,
me.
Bix, we can't use that word anymore on this show. Anything related to it, anything close to it, even if it's spelt wrong, no more. Please. I had enough from last week. And I saw
will send a link to Sam because apparently the link he's been given is.
I sent him the same link I sent you. No? Was that the wrong?
I don't use any links you send me because I just bypass it.
Oh, that's bad on my part. I thought I said. You know what probably happened?
No, I'll send it. It's fine.
Well, I need to send it to my man as well. So
I'll send it to Spencer. Don't worry.
Oh, you sent it to Spencer as well. Thank you very much, sir.
I will do that. Let me just find his.
All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. I thought I sent the right one. You know what happened?
Does it change when you change the time or anything like that? I don't know.
It shouldn't have. No, because it's just the show. But you know what happened? I sent the same link. It's the same link I sent you guys. Look. I'm looking at it. It's the same link I sent you guys. So I don't know why it's not working. I just took the link from the live show, and
let's see how that works.
It's the same link. So I don't know why it didn't work. I usually when I start my shows up and that team just responded. Just terrible, people. It's still 0-0 in the Bournemouth game. Liverpool is about to take a corner, but Brentford let somebody just run right through the middle of their defense, take a shot. The goalkeeper coughs it up, and a nice tap in for I don't know who tapped it in, but let's see. Madison through the middle. He takes a shot, and Solanke's there to finish it off. And there you go. And the third partner in this show, late probably, I don't know if it's because of me or not. I think it's because of him. But anyways, he joins us anyways. It's Sam G from the G's of, where are you from again? Norway?
Yeah, Norway, that's it, Gary. Well done.
What part of Norway, to be needlessly specific?
The southeast part of Norway, not far from Oslo.
Southeast.
I know it well.
You don't know anything about what he just said. You don't even know where Norway is.
Yeah, yes, I do. Yes. It's near Denmark. Hello. Near Denmark and Sweden.
It's in Europe. It's in Europe,
Finland.
Right?
It's where
country.
It's where the Vikings congregate.
You know what you Yanks like with geography? It's Northern Europe, and it's one of the countries of Scandinavia.
Yes, and Stefan welcomes you to the show.
Hello, Stefan. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Oh man,
how you guys doing?
I'm doing good. You know what? Actually, not so good. Got up this morning, went to the bathroom, and I decided I was going to walk back to my bed to go back to sleep. And my left hip decided it didn't want to work.
Oh, wow. That sucks.
Yeah, I was like, dude, what's going on? It was like a lot of pain, like somebody took a bat to it. And
Oh, dear.
I basically just like hobbled back to the bed. I couldn't even like just lay down. I had to like find a comfortable way to like get myself into a laying position because any movement I made, it felt like somebody took a nail and just was knocking
Oh,
it into me.
man. That's horrible. Did it pass?
It's still there, but I can move around now. I can walk without. I
Oh,
can walk now about like, yeah.
right. Well, that's
usually,
good that you can
yeah.
walk.
'Cause my first fear is like our dog doesn't like do good up and downstairs, so I was like, how in the world am I gonna get him downstairs so he can do his thing?
Yeah.
And but anyways, after that, good morning and another good morning because we are doing our show. So
Yeah, you wanted to start it early today.
I somehow set it up for 7:30. I got into the I got a little switch between my Monday show and my morning show on Saturday, I guess, because 7:30 is its starting time for Monday show. But I don't know if did I put something up that I shouldn't have?
No, it's the one that's next.
Could be some shenanigans going on, Gary. Shenanigans.
Well, if she can do that, that means she's like Flash because she's on the other side of the country right now. And
Telepathy. Voodoo.
yeah. Maybe voodoo, but
She's got a little Gary voodoo doll and she's sticking the left thigh.
Yeah. No, just me and the dog at the house this weekend right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Stefan, interestingly, Shade Oslo. They're one of the famous teams of Oslo. They used to be up in the top league, but they haven't been up in the top league for a long, long time. I think they're squandering down in the third level now in Norwegian football. They've been there for a long while. Yeah, they're traditionally they are from a rich area of Oslo. And they previously they had some owners that were quite rich. I mean, nowhere near the type of Premier League rich, but they were quite wealthy for Norwegian football standards. But those owners sold the club, I think, about 30 odd years ago, something like that. And yeah, since then they've just been completely and utter rubbish and just flown down the league, basically the leagues to the third level where they've been squandering. Just above relegation and nowhere near promotion for a long time.
Oh, they're a football team?
Yes, they're a football team.
I thought they were a band. I thought they were a band because of Stefan bringing it up.
Well, normally Stefan is talking about music and toys.
That explains why, because Ipswich played them once. I knew it would come back to that.
Yes.
See, yeah, because they back in the day when they were in the top division, I do believe they would take some tours around and play different clubs, around Europe and that in their summertime pre-season.
Pre-season tours, they should bring that back.
Yeah,
definitely should bring that back. Definitely.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. We've got Rosie, Mr. Tom's favorite chatter.
Hey, Rosie's here. Yes, we've got someone to laugh at.
I wasn't going to go there, but all right. Dude, we got like 2 people watching our show. You don't like piss him off already?
What I was going to say, Gary?
Let him get at least a second. Let him get 3 chat messages, and then you can go at him. All right, let's make a new roll.
3 messages is the starting point. Then we go in from there. Okay, I got it. But I was just going to say, we this road trip we have every Saturday where we get together and we let Tom drive for the only time he's ever allowed to drive a vehicle, and it always goes completely wrong. I was going to say that this show. And the participation in the chat is a bit like Tom's sex life. There's very few people involved, but they're very dedicated. Very dedicated. So yes, it's great.
That's the nicest thing I've ever had said about that. So I'll take it.
Yes, great.
What? Yeah. If Mr. Tom's life though, is there more than one, or is that just like?
Oh,
Well-
come on, behave yourself.
I'm just asking.
We got about what? We got about 5 or 6 trusty followers. So I was thinking
Oh,
about
you mean
5
like
or 6
you mean like
It's now up to
five? Is that what you
7.
mean?
Oh no, it went back down to 6.
Is that what you mean, Sam? You mean like 5?
Put 5 on it.
Ah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Is that what he
I
means?
see what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. You fuckers, you pair pricks. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
guess who's joining us? Look at this. Look at
Brownie's
this.
here. Fucking hell.
Okay,
We're gonna
look who
kick
it
off
is.
now.
He just woke
Hello,
up. What time
Bargav.
is it there? Isn't it like midnight or something?
I think it's like 2 or 3 a.m. or something like that.
So he just woke up. What is it? What does that mean?
He's
For
woke up to
Brownie
watch
time.
Leeds. Come on now.
He woke up to watch Leeds.
He's woke up to watch Leeds United.
They play later today.
They're playing now against Cardiff.
Why am I not
Ooh.
watching it? What?
Ooh, Leeds against Cardiff.
Why am I not watching it, dude?
According to live score, the stats are currently 0-0, no shots. Leeds have got 79% of the ball. What a surprise.
Dude, you should have told me. I could have been watching that. What is that? It's on is it
I believe
Paramount?
it's Paramount Plus, I believe, in
Alright.
your country. Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so Brownie joins us.
Sorry, who did their bits? Sorry, Bargav, please. Who did their bits this morning? Who did
Chelsea beat West Ham, didn't they?
Yeah, a certain player had a good lunchtime, didn't he? A certain player, I believe he got a brace and assist.
I can't believe Jackson scored a goal. I mean, that guy is absolute trash.
He scored 2 and an assist.
I can't believe it. The ball
Do
must have hit
excuse
him or
me a
something.
second. I need to just quickly go to little boy's room.
You go there and you be safe.
No, we don't want no. Hold it in.
Gary's a tough boss. You know you can't have a toilet break.
No, he can't.
You're on the clock, man. You're on the clock.
He can't. What? Why? It's not on TV. It's not on Paramount.
Well, you know.
Shut
Oh
up,
my God, he's
motherfucker.
back. That Jackson, if he could score. Jackson scored in a thriller.
He did a thriller dance afterwards.
Yeah, that would be great. I bet Jackson
That's the
would do
least
that
of what he
if he
should
played
do.
football.
So the game's not on. The game's not on Paramount. That's terrible. Oh wait, it says it is. Why?
Have you got a Michael Jackson joke this week, Tom?
Oh no.
I could go and look for one.
No,
No,
no.
you didn't have one ready.
No. It's all right. It's all right. That's
I'll be honest,
all
I
right.
didn't think I'd get the opportunity to get this far.
No,
He's
It's all right.
breaking the limits.
it's okay. We don't need to. No, it's all right. Right, Sam. We don't need it. Right?
No,
Good?
Michael Jackson, he's done more than enough, thank you.
Why can't I see? It says it's on Paramount, and I go look at Paramount, and it says, "I got nothing for you, man."
I did get a new cup.
All right. So not
What you got?
you got a new cut. What does it say?
How
How
am I assist you? It's my boy. It's
Who
my
is
boy,
that?
Furpo. It's a Furpo mug.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Did
Joining
you
the
say
show.
Yeah. So actually, that's confirming Furpo is a mug.
There you go. And a cassette
You've seen
tape.
Furpo. As the classic chant goes, you've seen Furpo, now fuck off home.
Look at that, an old cassette.
Oh, the cassette is Salt and Pepper. Push it, because that's what the tune that they do it to.
That's an old classic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bargav, welcome to the show. All right.
Stefan, yep, he's right about the.
With his
But he wouldn't score against his favorite team, would he? I mean, that's just his favorite team. He wouldn't do that.
Yeah. So there you go. He exercised today, folks. Brownie did a couple push-ups and a couple lifts and passed out. There you go. Man City fans convinced they ain't losing tomorrow.
I think it's going to be very hard. It's going to be a very hard game.
Yeah.
I really do. I think without Ødegaard in attack, it's we're lacking a lot up there.
Yeah, we have to lean on our defense once again, one more time, until we figure out how to get this offense going. I don't know if Arteta's going to figure it out, though. That's the problem for me.
Yeah, Martinelli. I would like to give Martinelli a rest, give Sterling a chance. Yeah, because Martinelli, that boy, he's just struggling. I mean, we need to give him a rest.
I kind of feel like he needs to play this one just to say, just run at the defense. I don't care about your defense anymore. Just run at that defense for me, please. Just keep running at it. And
Well, Sterling can do that as well. That's the thing.
Is
Sterling
he
can
faster
do
than
that.
Martinelli, though?
He's fast. He's fast.
And does he defend like Martinelli?
That's the thing. Sterling, I don't think is as good defensively as Martinelli. That's true. So I think we will see Martinelli for that reason, that he is good. A lot better defensively than what Sterling is.
Yeah.
But Martinelli just annoys me. As I said in the chat, in Ryan's chat, when half time, I said Martinelli, he's like that kid back in like middle school, playground football, lunchtime, you go and play that half an hour game out in the playground, and he's that kid that just runs around like a ferret on crack. He could just run around with the ball all day long, but he could never pass or shoot to save his life, and everyone would always go, you fuck, every time he fucking did something apart from run around with the ball.
Yeah.
Which was very frustrating. But because he was good at running with the ball, you always had to pick him second or third.
Yeah. Well, somebody just.
Gary's gone on mute.
Gary, you muted yourself. Last week, Pol Pot muted you, but now you've muted yourself.
How would you know that if you was not there at the time, Mr. Greenwood?
There's something called replay.
Yeah.
I forgot what was I about to say. You guys were talking about. What were you talking about there?
I forgot.
Martinelli.
I was just saying Martinelli was like, I was that analogy, back at the school playground, he's that kid that can run all day with the ball, but as soon as he does something with the ball, he fucks up.
Fulham is up 2-0 now on Newcastle, just so everybody knows.
Who's up 2-0 against Newcastle, did you say? Fulham.
Emil Smith-Rowe gets another goal. Yes. No, I was going to say that Martinelli is being compared to Adama Traore as far as his finishing is concerned, because he's not giving himself a chance or the team a chance when he puts the ball towards goal, because it never goes there.
The thing is, he just seems to have got worse at finishing, because I remember when we first started playing him quite regularly, he would, his passing in the final third was better, and he would score a few goals. He had a few decent finishes. I remember that one time, I don't know if you remember, Gary, there was that one time, I think it was with Emery. Was it Emery that used him as a centre forward? We used him as a centre forward for a few games. Yeah. And he did really well. He scored those amazing headers.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And he was flying back then. But now, you saw that chance he had it now against Atalanta.
He had two chances, and I didn't see the first one because I was watching it. I was at work, so I missed the first one. And you're like,
clear-cut chance.
You have to put the shot on target. At least put the shot on. That's the only way to give yourself a chance. I hate it when the goalkeeper just catches it because you didn't put anything on it. But you got to be on target with your shots. And I heard people saying, "Well, he's unbalanced and all of that." Guess what? When you're running down the field at that speed, you're never going to be on balance. That's why you practice.
Stupid excuse.
Yeah.
He's got to be able to a player of his, supposed to be his caliber. When you get through in that position, you've got to be able to hit the target. Maybe you don't exactly score, even though you should score, but at least you got to hit the target. But he just completely. He looked like he looked like an amateur.
Yeah, he's struggling. I mean, the confidence the man's got is lacking, especially when he gets in that position, because he gets in it. Like, to me, it's the same as. I would. Think about it, the same as what's his name, as Havertz. You put Havertz in that same situation, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and I have no confidence he's going to get it past the goalkeeper.
Havertz is a bit hit and miss, isn't he? Havertz can score a nice goal, and then he can miss really badly. He's very up and down, isn't he, with his finishing ability. But Havertz just does so much else that really works. That's the thing with Havertz. He's like an important cog in the machine, which, you know, in a tactical system, the way you're playing really does mean a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's up to Arteta to change really the style. But you see, this is the thing. When you don't have all your weapons and the weapons aren't exactly firing on all cylinders, you've got to adapt. And I think that's what Arteta is doing. I think we're playing a bit more sort of lower back. We're not quite as aggressive, high pressing as we normally are, playing a bit more on the counter. And I think it's working. I mean, you know, it's not fun to watch, you know, but at the end of the day, it's getting results. You know, we're not losing games. We've won games and we've drawn. You know, and that's important. You know, that's at the end of the day, it's results that matter. Remember with Mourinho with Chelsea, everyone was complaining, "Oh, it's so boring, it's so boring, it's so systematic, boring." But they won. They won the Champions League. Yeah, they won the league. You know, it works. That's the thing. At the end of the day, football's about results. You sometimes you're lucky you can have both. You know, really nice, attacking, free-flowing, attractive football and win games. That's great. But at the end of the day, it's a results business, isn't it? It's about the points in the bag. And, you know, I would rather go to Manchester City on tomorrow, get a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw, have that 1 point from the Etihad. Thank you very much. And let's move on. You know, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Sure. And before we continue on with that, we got 2 goals scored. Liverpool is up 1-0.
Yeah,
and Wolves are up 1-0 at Aston Villa. So lots of scoring going on today. Now, I agree that Arteta, for me, this shouldn't be something that Arteta is figuring out now. It shouldn't be, you know what I mean? Like, you as a coach, I believe you kind of look at your squad and you go, you know what? Where am I lacking in depth? Well, let's see. I got no answers right now behind Saka. I got no answers behind Ødegaard. Will they play every game for me? Probably not. Do I have an answer for that I can build into the preseason, right? While I figure this out. If we don't get an answer behind them immediately, then maybe we have a plan of how we're going to do this so it doesn't. Guess who's losing? Oh, is it that they scored? That team just scored, so. They just scored. But, you know, I just feel like it shouldn't be a surprise that, guess what, you might have to play without or you might have to play without Saka. So,
The most important thing that has occurred in the last 2 minutes is that Joel Bagan has been sent off for Cardiff City for a straight red.
I do see the red on this.
Maybe Leeds will be able to score a goal. Maybe.
And Luis Diaz just scored his second goal in like 1 minute, I think. So Bournemouth basically had a lead, got it taken away, and now
Diaz just scored his second.
And basically, it looks like it's done. Looks like they're done.
Diaz scored his second. The goalkeeper on the first goal was completely atrocious. Well out of position.
I'll describe it how Cardiff's Twitter described it. City down to 10 men. Bagan tackles Nonto unfairly. The winger carries on though, doesn't get a shot away, so the ref pulled it back, red cards Bagan and gives Leeds the free kick. And then they made a save from the free kick. Yeah. I'm surprised that was quite generous to Nonto, because I wouldn't have worded it like that. I'd have said traitorous little cunt.
Okay. That's one way to.
Is that what you would have written on the description if you had the job of, you know, writing?
I may have done
updates on the game. Nonto, the traitorous little cunt, got fouled.
Yeah, it wouldn't have really had much to do with football, if I'm being honest.
Every 2 minutes you see that. Oh, Thomas Ross is covering the game today. Oh, great! Every 2 minutes, Nonto, the treacherous fucking cunt, is once again misplaced a pass. Why is this little twat on the field?
Yeah,
that'd be basically every 2 minutes.
I mean, in fairness, I don't even know what to say to that. Sam's 100% spot on.
All right, so
Nail
let's
on the
move
head.
on. So
Nail on the head.
you're flowerful in your language. It doesn't matter if
Yeah,
it's
my
for or
apologies.
against your team.
Children,
Yeah.
if you're watching, stop, probably.
If language was flowers, we would have a whole bloody botanical garden, wouldn't we?
Yeah. You could
Yeah,
call
I
it
really
the flower,
shouldn't be
the
swearing.
flower show, all right? The traveling
flower
flower
show.
show.
Was it the Chelsea Flower Show, whatever it is?
According to live score, Leeds have increased possession to 74%. So, obviously, if possession won games, we would already be promoted. But it doesn't, so we're not. And we're still probably going to end up losing to a 10-man Cardiff. Because that's football.
Is it Ellen Road?
Nah, it's at Cardiff.
Is that Cardiff, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's the worst possible outcome at the moment because that means that Cardiff can now settle into their 9-0-0 formation with 8-0-0, 8-0-1 because they're going to hit us on the break at some point because that's football. That's how you beat us. Just basically defend for your lives because they're just going to try and pass the ball around you. So don't let them. And then, like Burnley, blueprint of it, just don't let them pass the ball around you. Just stand there, hold your ground. Maybe we've come up with a different plan of attack, like shipping it over the line or something. I don't know, the defensive line. I mean, but
are you losing
anyway.
confidence? Are you losing confidence in Farker?
No.
Still pleased.
Simple reason, Sam. To be fair, is I can't think of anyone that we could actually get that is better than Daniel Farker.
Fair enough.
Because whoever we bring in is also just going to play an attacking brand of football and with lots of passing because everyone copies Pep.
Oh! Just got the alert that you wanted to know about, Mr. Tom. Who is Largy?
Leeds are 1-0 up against Cardiff. Is it Largy Ramazani?
That guy.
Boy. He's my
Was that
boy.
an Italian pasta dish?
It sounded like something that goes on the plate for sure.
It's
got like octopus
with,
and like squid eyes and like I don't know, just like
pasta to me.
like sea cucumber slices on it. It doesn't sound like anything like that's normal. It's not spaghetti and meatballs for sure.
Right.
To be fair, right? I'm gonna give Cardiff their due here. Not as a club, but no, seriously, give them their due. We went 1-0 up in January of 2002, and Cardiff still beat us.
They were down a men. They were down a men that day too.
They may have been.
Facts matter, Tom. Facts matter.
Well, I'll put it this way: that football match specifically has its own Wikipedia page.
Right. Okay, it's one of those.
Oh, yes.
One of those. Anyway, I see Brownie complaining about his internet. Well, Brownie, my boy, you need to stop thieving the neighbour's internet Wi-Fi, and you need to get out of the house, spend some money, and get your own fucking Wi-Fi router, mate.
You think Brownie would do that? Everybody thinks.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. He wouldn't. He's just thieving some neighbour's fucking Wi-Fi. Some old lady's got an unencrypted Wi-Fi going because she doesn't know how to do it. She's got an open Wi-Fi, and Brownie's like, "Yeah, fucking get on that, yeah."
Brownie's actually the man. He's even bolder than that. He's like he throws a ball over the fence, and then just jumps over and like splices the line.
Oh yeah.
And the lady's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm just getting my ball." Meanwhile, he spliced the line. Right. He's got a second line going into his house. Man is living,
clandestine operations in Australia. I'm just gonna go and get my ball. Oh, by the way, I'm just gonna take this wire that's underground just by your house, and I'm just gonna get some of it.
Sorry, to answer your question, Sam, there was a sending off in that game. If I told you a Leeds player from 2002 got sent off in that game, who springs to mind?
Ian Hart?
No, Alan Smith. You're absolutely correct. Because we'll pretend you said Alan Smith.
Yeah, Alan Smith. Yeah, he was a naughty boy.
Part of the reason it hasn't some Wikipedia page is because it tells a story of how the club chairman, Sam Haman, tried to pick a fight with David O'Leary in the car park. The Leeds manager, former Arsenal player.
I mean, those days, you got to admit, those days were more fun. There was more fun because you actually had, you had like
Characters.
You had real characters involved who would actually, get into a scrap in the fucking car park after the game. I mean,
it wasn't a business. It was fandom. It was supporters. It wasn't about how much money did we make yesterday. Were the ticket sales really good? I don't care. Did we have a really good game? Did we play well? All that. That's it.
Well, now it's just a big company, corporation.
Yeah. Doing his Hulk Hogan pose after scoring.
There he is. Look at him. Look, very happy.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's some big company or corporation, conglomerate, or some country fund or whatever. But back in the day, it was someone. Yeah, they had a lot of money, but they were a fan of the club. They loved the club. They supported the club. And it could get a bit feisty, couldn't it?
Yep. Oh yeah. I don't think the 2 games against City will determine the league, but guess what? If we roll over and die in those games, that's not good for the other games that we might need to win. So
that's why
we gotta play really well. If we lose and we play really well, I'll be okay.
Great goal from.
Oh my gosh!
Darwin just scored a great goal.
They just basically just say, you know what? What space do you need, sir? Oh, okay. To the left. All right. You want the left goal? All right. Here you go. Go on. And he did.
Liverpool making it look easy.
Why when we play teams they don't seem to just back off on defense like that?
Good question, Gary.
Like,
I know we run surprised
it's global elite
Vader in that game.
What'd you say, Tom?
Brownie is outwardly admitting that he was a pitch invader on the day that they beat Leeds.
Oh yeah, I mean Brownie's been banned from Cardiff for a long time.
I mean, I'm just not surprised to discover he was pitch invader on that day.
You know how they put pictures up of the players and stuff at the stadiums and stuff. At Cardiff, they just painted his face on every entrance door. Just don't let him in with a big X on it. Not allowed in. Sorry, Brown.
I remember when in the early days of Brownie's channel, when he was doing all these different kinds of stunts, trying to get some clicks. And he was protesting something about the something going on at Cardiff. I can't remember what it was. Something going on. And he decided to do some graffiti. I think it was on some kind of steel structure or something. It was something to do with Cardiff. And he bloody got the wrong paint, so it wouldn't fucking go on the steel. It just kept running off. Only Brownie can do that. I mean, come on. Brownie he's amazing, Brownie.
I could be wrong, but he's a character, let's just say. And I don't mean character in the way that we called Peter Schmeichel's son a character, because we actually meant something different when we were saying that. But
Anybody think Joshua will actually has he won yet in a while? Because it's been like
who gives a toss, honestly.
A lot of people seem to be interested in this one.
I'm no boxing expert, but I will say that I know enough to know Anthony Joshua is finished if he doesn't win this tonight. And if he doesn't win it convincingly, he is done.
Because he's like what, lost 3 in a row or something like that, or 3 of the last 4 or something. So yeah, Liverpool is just having a lot of fun today.
Funny you say about the boxing. Do you know the first time since 2009, something like that? I may have the exact year wrong. They're bringing out a boxing game in October.
Cool. And just thinking about boxing has me thinking about how Spencer gets boxed, and that's why he ends up on the floor.
Well, good morning to you too, Gary. There is a boxing game coming out in October. Me and Tom were talking about it this week. It's called Undisputed.
Yeah. I've no
Told me
idea
off
if
to the
it's
point
any
ago.
good.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it other than we do boxing matches. Do you know what I actually did see once? Like, to slightly pivot towards MMA, and I don't really know anything about MMA, but I do know that in Poland they do team MMA. So then you end up with like 8 on 8. I don't think it's quite 8 on 8, but then when one of them gets tapped out, everyone else still continues. So it just whoever taps out first is going to be the losing team, because then it immediately becomes 4 on 3, which doesn't really feel quite fair in a real fight.
Those Poles are crazy.
Yeah. Say what you will, but Adolf wouldn't have stood for that.
No, he certainly wouldn't.
It was Pol Pot.
Pol Pot would definitely not stand for it.
We nixed that. We nixed that name.
Gary's face. Gary's face.
We nixed that name from the show. I think. At least that's what upper management has been saying to me. I'm just laying down the law. I'm just trying to do what they say, because they pay the bills.
Yeah, last week I watched the replay, and last week Pol Pot came on, and Gary had a bit of an aneurysm.
Yeah, you didn't hear a word I said. You just ignored me. Get it? I love it.
You had a bit of an aneurysm, didn't you, last week, Gary? I think you short-circuited last week.
Yeah, I was lost for words. Yes.
Very great. It was a good booking. Great from the booking team behind the scenes to get Pol Pot as a great booking.
It really is. Did you get a tick in subscribers, Gary, on this one?
No, I don't get. No, I think no.
I do hear
Gary
through.
didn't.
So did you say, Tom?
I'll just quickly go and say, well, it's going to be something silly. When's it not? I was surprised Gary didn't get an email from YouTube saying like, you can't do your show anymore.
I was looking for the email. It didn't come.
Oh, it was factually correct. Everything was factually correct. It was turned into a learning
Documentary
video.
Yeah, I don't want. This is not a learning. I don't want to learn. I don't want anybody learning that kind of stuff on this show. Okay.
Was Gary about to say this is not a learning show?
I was about to say that, and then I realized we are teaching everybody some stuff, but that's not the kind of learning I want to do on this show. This is literally a learning show. Yes, we learn about everything. What's the best?
I mean, we're not teachers, but I mean, like, even Brownie with his old-timey football facts. Even Stefan with basically 700 years of Ipswich knowledge. It's teaching something.
We are the teachers of the future, right? Here we go. There's a new way to teach. Come listen to the road trip. You'll learn something every time.
It just turned into a docudrama, so those are okay.
Yeah.
It's definitely drama, yes. Horror, drama, a little bit of suspense for me. What's that?
One request, Gary, as you are our esteemed host, could you please, as we are approaching, when we get to halftime, can you run through the scores for the audience, please?
Definitely, sir. We are sitting almost just a minute or two before halftime for all these, for about, 6 games? And we'll get into that as well. Definitely will. What else we got? Anything else that is halftime? Well, we'll give some Scotland scores. St. Mirren is winning up home to Hearts. Ross County is up 1-0 at home to St. Johnstone. And earlier today, Norwich beat Watford 4-0. QPR Millwall 1-1 draw.
4-1.
Sunderland up 1-0 on Middlesbrough. There you go. And we'll get into the other scores later. Is it good that Coventry is losing to Swansea right now?
It doesn't upset me. I'm sick of Coventry. I'm fucking sick of it. I fucking hate Coventry. I'll tell you why. It's because they had the audacity to, when they got their 1-1 win at Ellen Road last year, and they celebrated like they'd actually been promoted back to the Champions League, they were like, not the fans, their players were actually like having party time at Leeds train station. It's like, go fuck yourself. Even I don't have party time at Leeds train station. So I don't think even
I don't think even the rats have parties at Leeds train station.
Exactly. I mean, to be fair, I imagine you're happy because like you're getting to leave Leeds or something like that. Like I can understand that, but too pleased with their performance, in my opinion. And then they would dog shit for the rest of the season. Some are gonna say like, oh, because they played loads of games in the FA Cup. It's like, yeah, but they still then beat Leeds 2-1. I mean, that's more on us for being
Coventry.
shit, but
Coventry with their sky blue kits.
How dare you only try against Leeds United? How dare you?
Hey, I think people try a lot harder against Arsenal than they do against other teams as well.
No.
Coventry. When I think of Coventry, I think of
Jimmy Hill's chin.
What was his name? I can't remember his first name, but the surname was Grizovic, the goalkeeper.
You did Sam. You did almost a Max Headroom kind of like that. You had your internet.
Steve, what was it? Steve Grizovic.
He was like their keeper for about 40 years.
Yeah, he looked. He had a fucking. His hair 60. Was so thin. He looked like your granddad was in goal.
He looked 60 when he was 21.
Yeah, that guy looks so old. I can't believe.
Good goal.
He actually played until he was 40 odd, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, he was trying to match up to his age in looks, I suppose. Trying to catch up. But no, in all seriousness, Steve Grizovic, fine goalkeeper.
He was a good goalkeeper, to be honest.
I mean, if you didn't have David Seaman, I mean, because he wasn't. I mean, I'm never going to slag off David Seaman because he made the correct choice in football team to support.
Yeah, and that's where he first started his professional career, wasn't it, Leeds, before he got booted out, but
I do love David Seaman with his. Don't get me wrong. When he starts laughing, I turn everything off. Like when he starts laughing, I'm like, I've had enough of you, Dave. To be honest,
he does laugh a lot. Yeah, I mean, he's a good guy.
Speaking of not good guys, Bruce Grobbelaar, everyone.
Oh,
actually found out to be cheating in football.
Clown! What a clown he was. Great
goalkeeper until we discovered he might have been an even better goalkeeper if he weren't taking money to throw football matches. Disgusting. Yep. Disgusting. Typical Liverpool player. I fucking hate Liverpool too.
Was Huckabee was Coventry?
No one gives a fuck if he was there. It only matters that he played for Leeds. Sorry, Darren Huckabee, yeah.
Yeah, Huckabee was like a big talent, wasn't he?
So is Queen's Park Rangers, is that different from Queen's Park Rangers?
They're the Queen's Park Rangers. Now that has got to be a punk rock band in fucking Ipswich.
I must admit, I didn't see the punk part, and I just thought, he's being overly factual, and I was like, fuck off, kind of thing. And I was like, I'll apologise because that's actually quite witty.
I had trading cards when I was younger, and is there a group called Queen's Park something?
Yes.
Queen's Park what?
Oh, no idea. CM Punk's the manager, probably.
Yeah. No, it was this is back when I was a youngster like yourself, wee man.
I'll start to feel like you're getting a bit personal there, sir.
I just like that name.
Of course you do. I had a delicious steak yesterday, paid for by Lolo.
Oh, that's very nice.
It's very nice of him. I mean, don't get me wrong. I then plied him full of booze, but it's not the point.
What, is Lolo in the UK?
Yeah.
Well, great.
Yeah, he's got tickets for I was going to call it the Manchester Derby. It's not, is it? Man City versus Arsenal. Got tickets.
Wow, he's going to the Etihad. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. Does he have to go undercover?
I'm going to say yes because it will conjure up images in your mind, but probably not. I imagine he's a bit more shrewd than to actually turn up with his Arsenal shirt or whatever. Actually, football's a bit different now, so I think you can get away with it. But 1980, you couldn't. You couldn't even get away wearing your home club shirt probably in the 80s without getting into a fight.
Yeah, there was a lot of crap going on in the 80s, weren't there?
Did they even did away fans go much back in the 70s?
I
Yeah.
know that because my dad did. He was part of like.
Yeah, they
London
did,
League.
but you know, it was, of course, it wasn't always a very good outcome, was it? You know, that was the thing. You know, I think it was less popular back then than it is now.
Yeah, my dad was like, "No, you can't go to these games. Hooligans there." That was
Yep.
basically the what you had going on back in those days.
Yeah. I shouldn't really have to say this out loud, but put it this way: you are much more welcome at football matches now than you would have been 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah,
As horrible as that is to say, that is the reality of it. So it's changed for the better in that respect.
that's true.
I'm saying that because Gary's gay.
There you go.
Yeah, I
He
think
thought,
that
I've subverted his expectations.
is there something wrong with that, Mr. Tom?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with
You're
that. But 30 years
You're
ago,
like 4 feet tall and you're picking on somebody's sexuality. How dare you? How dare you?
I'm going full Seinfeld. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course, you know.
It was a mattress in the transit van and everybody jumped in. What?
Gary goes full George Costanza when he says most things, because in his mind, there's a little fatter Gary in his mind going to him. It's not a lie if you believe it. Think about that.
Yes,
Yeah, that's very astute. Very astute.
Yeah. Oh, you used to have big away support. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I saw when I went to the North London Derby, I saw how they kind of basically had cops or whatever walking on both sides of the traveling supporters as they walk in.
Today it's a lot more. Today, of course, it's a lot more policed and regulated, and yet you don't have terraces anymore. It's all seating and all of that. You got massive CCTV coverage. You know, that's the thing. You know, you can't get away with anything in a football game now because you're on camera from the moment you get close to the stadium until you're actually leaving the stadium. You're on camera, so you know, if you do something at a football game, you're basically a moron.
Yeah.
Yeah, security's definitely changed.
They've managed to work it in a way so they can finagle it that you, as an away fan, you don't interact with any home supporter from the moment you get at the train station of the club or you get off the bus or at whatever the transport method is. They will work it in a like they'll spend money on it basically. They've actually moved football matches because of policing issues.
Yeah. My college football team. I mean, it would be okay, I think, if it was done home and home, but they play in a neutral site every year, and it's like half the stadium is blue and half the stadium is red, basically. And,
in America,
works fine. It works fine there, but we don't like each other. So if we played home and home like most teams, you could see craziness happening because the love is not there. There's no.
You don't really seem to segregate your fans, do you? In America, you know, you'll have away fans.
If you go to a college game, it's less likely you're going to see away fans sitting right in the middle, especially for a big game. Like, I don't know what it's like for you, Spencer, but if it's a Florida game,
they have a section for them.
They have their own away section. If you sit, like, you're just asking for trouble. Like, if it's Red Sox Yankees and a Yankee fan decides to sit in the wrong spot, 9 times out of 10 he's gone. He's gone because it's not going to work. Because he's just by wearing the Yankee top, he's instigating something. He didn't have to say anything, and then he's in the wrong. And then he's in the wrong neighborhood essentially.
But when you see NFL games and hockey games and stuff, you see so many of the away fans sitting together where the home fans are. And I mean, there's fights break out sometimes and stuff like that. You always see
alcohol driven. That's when it really happens.
But you see the fans sitting together. You know, they probably don't like each other, but they do sit together and seem to be able to get through it. But while as in football, it's very, very clearly segregated. You know, you got, like Tom said, you know, when you're at a high enough level, you're basically guided, you know, by staff and police from the moment you enter the area, you know, until you get into the stadium. You're guided a set path that's kept away from all the other home fans.
Yeah.
And it has to be that way, unfortunately, because there are still, you know, they're not quite as prominent and you know, as active as they used to be, but there's still, you know, these hooligans around that just like to go just for the sake of beating people up. And normally they'll fight each other, you know, they'll arrange to fight each other, the different, you know, home and away hooligans. But sometimes they get involved with the regular, you know, call them regular people, you know, unfortunately. But yeah, there's a lot less of it now than there used to be, thankfully.
I mean,
yeah, I mean, for your conference, Gary, South Carolina's the worst spot to go to easily. I mean, like even at Clemson, they've got an away section, but here's the difference: like you can buy a ticket as anybody's fan anywhere. There is no like, hey, who do you support? You know, so that's kind of the weird thing. But most of the problem in America with sporting events is like alcohol driven.
Yeah.
That's really when like the things happen. So, but other than that, I mean, I've sat at games next to opposite fans and had a good time.
Yeah.
You know, it's serious, but it's also kind of like I know how to function as an adult, and they knew how to as too. I think that plays into it as well. So,
yeah, because you got to keep in mind a lot of people don't behave like yourself in the same situation.
Well, also it's very important to. Also, you got to remember that there's a very big difference between the cultures, right? In America, you know, the culture, sports culture, the way it's developed is completely different to England. I think England is a lot more connected to its local society in terms of the working class, the lower classes. And what happened in the 70s and 80s, you had Thatcherism, right? And Thatcher completely broke the UK. You had large parts of the UK that were just completely broke, didn't have work, and it just created this anger and resentment, and people took it out. You know, men who became alcoholics and drug addicts, you know, through the desperation of the times they were living in, and that turned into violence. You know, it was a way of, you know, releasing their anger and letting the steam out. You know, they would go to games together with their friends who felt exactly the same way, or their mates who had been let off from the coal mines or the steel factories and all of that, and they would say, right, you know, let's take it. You know, we're gonna, you know, we've got the Bradford boys coming down or the Millwall boys coming down this weekend. We're gonna go and fucking kill them, you know. And that was basically the outlet of the society they were living in, which was atrocious. And in America, I know America's had its problems, of course. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's been that connected to the sport as it has.
Sports never been used as an outlet.
You know, sports in America doesn't seem to be that connected to like the working class at the same level, like it's ingrained in society.
I mean, on a slight pivot, I just want to say how much I respect the college football team, Texas A&M.
You know what?
Respect for them.
You know what?
What's that, sir?
I don't want to hear.
Tom said the wrong thing now. He said the wrong thing.
He just basically went there. He knew exactly what he's doing. You're in timeout, young man. That's just like, dude, you just spit on me. You just spit on me. Sam, do you like it when your friends spit on you on purpose?
No, I don't like that at all, Gary. Well, sometimes I do if it's a Saturday evening. No, I don't.
Yes, I was gonna bring that up.
Nasty.
That's nasty. That's nasty. We don't like that.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Tom, what are you doing this to me? I don't go after you, do I? I barely go after you. And you know what? You have a lot more material. You have a lot more material I could go after you for. A lot.
You lying fucker. You sitting there going, oh, I'll never go after. You do nothing but go after me. You called me a foot fetishist yesterday.
Dude, I wasn't. I saw what everybody saw. What they saw.
You know what this is? This is Tom pressing Gary's buttons. This is what this is.
So
Yeah,
hey, real quick though, hey
what
Sam, I
was
was going to agree. That was going to bring that up. That the '80s definitely, like you said, that was kind of that. I guess the fuel for the fire, and football was kind of that outlet. In America, though, like we had our issues when economic times were rough, but sport.
Okay. See what you did there, Mr. Tom? Now BX Gunner's
I agree, Spencer. Is good.
on punishment as well.
Good.
Who's Charlie Ward?
Yeah, no, don't look him up.
I'm either going to look him up or BX. I know you would not mind saving time.
He's a
typing why we
quarterback
should
who
appreciate Charlie
beat
Ward.
Florida Gators when.
Oh, for Texas A&M. I love that guy.
Why? No.
He's a great man. He's
He
he's
didn't
part
play
of
for
the
Texas
elusive,
A&M, but
the
he did play for Florida
prestigious
State.
Ward football family.
Hated him.
Yeah,
Should
the
have been
way he throws the ball.
It was a clip on the play. He scores a touchdown to finish off the game, basically, and we lose 14-9. So
14.
yeah,
What?
Boo. Boo.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, I'm just learning. I'm just learning because I didn't watch one part of that game. So
No, you
thank
didn't even
for
know
giving
football
me
existed
additional
on this side of the
information.
world when that game was played.
Yeah.
You know what? Look, Stefan says nothing wrong with a foot fetish, little man. Just because if that's what you're into, you know,
That's
nothing
true.
wrong with
There
it.
is nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Part 2.
I just saw the Mbueno goal for Brentford. That is a good goal.
Yeah, from the nice volley, right? So you know what I forgot to do? So I'm going to do it now. Halftime scores for the Premier League, folks. As I said earlier, Chelsea did finish off West Ham very easily in the morning. Halftime at Villa Park, Wolves are up 1-0. Fulham at home is up 2-0 on Newcastle. And that game has just started back in the second half. Leicester is losing at home to Everton. Mr. Tom not happy. Liverpool up 3-0 on Bournemouth. Southampton up 1-0 home to Ipswich. And that team is up 2-1 on Brentford. Brentford actually has had many chances to score in that game. They've been wasteful. So, which I find weird. How in the world are we that poor without Erdogan that Brentford can actually attack them and actually score? That they scored a goal early in the game, right? We could do that, can't we? And they look like they could score more goals in that game.
Well, we beat Tottenham 1-0. We beat them.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying on the attacking side, are we really that fruitless without Erdogan?
Damn, unless it's 4-0, Gary's not happy.
I didn't say that either. And you know what?
That's kind of
We're getting chances. We're getting chances.
Very
We're not connecting on the chances.
Newcastle just scored. Harvey Barnes opens up the bank for Newcastle in the second half. Early goal.
Gary, you didn't give us the halftime results of the Northumberland Disabled League. That is the championship.
What's going on down in Transmere?
I want to know what's going on in the Northumberland Disabled League, otherwise known as a championship.
All right. That's League 2, right? Let me go there first.
Colchester
Colchester is up 2-0 on the Channels team, Transmere.
Is that what we call a non-binary result?
I don't even. Oh boy.
Well played.
That Freudian slip is just coming back, man. Every damn day.
You couldn't have said that in front of 3 worse people. That would just remember it.
They're winning, Stefan. You're happy about that?
No. They're not winning. Remember, we just went through this.
They changed 0-0 to losing 2-0.
I thought they was winning 2-0. Oh,
no,
sorry,
Colchester's up 2-0.
Right.
Yeah.
How long are my local team, Leighton Orient, doing in League One? They're winning 2-0 at Stockport County.
I guess you could say Transmere's record went from 0-0-0 to 0-1-2.
That's far too above my mental pay grade.
Yeah. Hey, Liverpool right now is leading the league right now.
I got it really.
On goal difference. So there you go. We could.
Okay. So, what's going on in the championship, Gary?
What's going on in the championship?
Northumberland Disabled League.
And that's not. We'll get to that in a little bit. But first off, Starting up the second half, you've got Oxford United at Bristol City. They lead 1-0. Portsmouth at Burnley is up 1-0. Leeds at Cardiff is up 1-0. Cardiff down a man. Swansea at Coventry, they're up 2-1. Luton, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United and Derby, and West Brom and Plymouth all sitting at 0-0 going into the second half.
Thank you very much, Gary. Thank you. And while you're on it, how
Yes,
is
sir.
it going in the Grace McLeod Methadone Clinic League, also known as the Scottish Premier League?
Okay, in the Scottish League, I did see some scores for that earlier today. So here we go. And whatever you just said, because I cannot repeat that. It was just a lot of big words that got my mouth, like my tongue tied, essentially.
Yeah.
Ross County is home to St. Johnstone. They're sitting at a 1-1 draw right now. St. Mirren still up 2-1 on Hearts at home. They're still sitting at halftime. For those who care, we don't care about any of these other scores, do we?
We don't care about these. I love that. Gary's just like, oh, we don't care about that.
Gary's resigned himself. He's like, I don't really want to keep doing it.
Oh, the England scores. That's more than enough, right? Fleetwood is not playing today, so my
We've got our
cousin's
limits.
team isn't playing today.
We've got our limits,
Oh, second half has started for Leeds, so here we go.
For this week's Russ Morgan Norwegian football update segment, there's currently a game being played at the moment in the Norwegian Premier League. It's actually my local team, Strømsgodset from Drammen, of Martin Ødegaard origin and fame. That's his team where he learned to play football and was bought from by Real Madrid. They're currently playing at home. It's in the 50th minute, and they're 2-1 up against a team called Sarpsborg 08, which is Sarpsborg 08, which is a team not very far away. They're just on the east side of Oslo. We're on the west side of Oslo. We're not Oslo teams, but on either side of Oslo. They're not a local team, really. Yeah. So 2-1 up, and they need that because Strømsgodset, that's my local team, are currently struggling, and they're close to relegation. So there's only a few games. I think it's like 6 games left now in the season. So yeah, they need to get some points. So yeah, thank you very much, Russ. I hope you're happy. You can take that.
If they win,
with you.
If they do win, they will leap all the way to 8th in the table. That's how tight it is down at the bottom of the Elite Syrian, the Norwegian.
How tight
Premier
is
League.
it?
Very tight, Gary. It's un-PG like tight at the bottom.
I got a good Diddy joke, but I'll keep it to myself.
Oh.
Speaking of sexual abuse, did you
No,
know Vincent Mann's
not speaking of
documentary starts on
anything.
Wednesday?
Let's move on to something else. No, not speaking on anything. Let's just move on to something else, please.
All right. Too far. Okay.
Hey, anybody got scores for Stefan?
No, what I did want to say about the Norwegian Premier League, right,
Sam,
is
I've
I've never seen a person more cool as ice as Herman Stengel when he takes a penalty. The penalty he took for 2-0, ice in his veins. He would have headed the ball straight back to the keeper if he had missed it.
I tell you what, the team that are going to win the league by Bodø/Glimt, they've been the best team the last few years from up north. They were unlucky not to get qualified for the Champions League. They lost to Red Star Belgrade in the away leg. Unfortunately, they played a terrible game away. They played quite well at home. But yeah, if it wasn't for that terrible away night they played down in Belgrade, they would be in the Champions League now. They're a pretty decent team, to be honest. They play very nice, very effective, direct, quick, attacking football. It's a style that's refreshing to see. Anyway, we've pleased Russ Morgan with a Norwegian football segment now, so we can probably move on.
I remember when that team was not Tottenham. I mean, Bodø/Glimt, or whatever they're called. They humbled Mourinho. The only time I think they beat Roma 6-1 in the Europa League. And he stood there And he was basically like, "Why are you talking to me about how bad my team are? Talk to the team that won 6-1. They deserve your conversation."
And I think it was Roma. It was Roma who immediately bought when the following transfer window immediately bought the best Border Glint player that day. I think he scored 2 goals. He played absolutely amazing game. Yeah, they went and bought him, but he didn't do well down in Italy, so he went back.
I was about to say, is he back there for less money than obviously Roma paid for him?
Yeah,
I imagine. So they did well out of that. Sorry, we'll throw that. Have Leeds scored against Cardiff yet?
No, sir.
All right, fair enough. So I just thought I'd break it up a bit.
I mean, they should score, right? They're upper man. I mean, that's basically how this thing works. Go down a bit.
Stefan is wondering about the Swedish Blonde Women's League. Well, they're trying to play, but unfortunately they're trying to kick bricks around instead of football, so it's not very effective.
Goals scored in the Championship. Sheffield Wednesday have gone 1-0 up at Luton Town.
Oh, there we go.
Mm.
I have nothing. Barry Bannon. Actually, I don't sound so. Barry Bannon, the man who he's going bald, but he won't accept it. He's got a tiara on the front of his head. Because he should have shaved it off, but he won't. And
hard to accept.
I kind of feel where you were going, and then all of a sudden, when he finished, I was like,
I can just imagine what that looks like.
See that? It's not a good look.
I'm gonna find the photo on the internet.
Do we have a goal coming up? Wobie cannot put it away. He makes Pope look really good there.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Wobie, let's see. Gets himself in a good position with the ball, and his volley is just right at Pope.
He's their only hope.
Only hope, Pope. Oh, Wobie Kenobi, Pope.
Barry Bannon's tiara. Just let it go, mate.
Dude, come on, man.
Bloody hell.
Come on.
Let it go, mate. I've not made it up. It's that
what
bad.
What the hell is that? It looks like a fucking, I don't know what, like some kind of small hamster died on his forehead or something.
He looks like the guy in the RoboCop movie that falls in the toxic waste.
You trying to say looks like Peter Weller, or is it Paul Weller? No,
Peter Weller. I think
Peter Weller played RoboCop, didn't he?
Yeah. Incredible.
Clarence Bodica, what a villain he was. He played by what's his face from that 70s show? I can't remember his name.
Smith.
I think.
Yeah,
do you pay him to say this, Mr. Tom? Because he keeps saying it.
He's not. It's not been complimentary. He always says that when he thinks people are talking bollocks, and he thinks I don't know, but I do because it's obvious. Because you only do it when I notice it when you do it when other people are talking bollocks. You sneaky fucker. Which is ironic because you should say it yourself about your own fucking things you write down more than fucking anyone else. So I got my tongue there.
No, so you don't talk.
This is Stefan pushing Tom's buttons.
That's gonna be That's gonna be Sam's new thing.
That's a new thing.
Pushing a button, man.
Yeah, that worked when I do it. But yeah. It's totally true, you fucker.
So, what are the big college games this weekend?
It's not the Gator game. Let's just say that.
I can tell you exactly what it is. Because I've been following up on my Alabama Crimson Tide, who are 3-0 in currently 5th in the SEC, apparently, whatever that means. And basically, we're up against.
We're up against. You don't know anything about Alabama.
Yeah, no. I've been Alabama since I was born. Not. Hang on. Wait, that's not what I meant.
So, how many? Oh, man.
How many sister cousin wives have I got?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I was talking about. I was just. The big games today.
Tennessee and Oklahoma is the big one.
We've got a week off, basically. We play Georgia next week.
Yeah. All the ranked teams should win, but Tennessee's gonna have a big struggle at Oklahoma today. That's a big game in the SEC.
I'm
Anybody
partial
else?
to the Miami Hurricanes.
I always used to like the Miami Hurricanes. They were a brutal team back in the 90s.
Marshall should lose that one for sure. You know, NC State. I hope they beat the team they're playing today.
They won't.
Who's the number one ranked team in college football?
Right now it is
Texas.
it's Texas. Yeah, just Georgia barely
Is it
won last
Texas
week,
A&M?
so they dropped. Huh?
Is it Texas A&M?
Stop talking.
No, a genuine question.
No,
right?
it's Mr. Hit it, Sam. There you go. And this guy as well, Russ.
They used to be good, Florida State, didn't they? They used to be good.
Yes.
I have a lot of respect for Miami Hurricanes because they have a very successful defensive tackle who majored in criminology and physiology. Name that man.
Is it the one that went to Oxford for
It's Ron Simmons. Come on, Gary.
It's not Ron Simmons. It's
not
Dwayne
Ron
Johnson.
Oh, we're talking about Miami now. What about
Miami
Roman
Hurricanes.
Reigns? He played at Georgia Tech. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that because they filmed a segment at SmackDown last night on
Now
that field.
Russ is just
He
making
got
up teams now.
6.5
There's no such
sacks.
thing. I know it.
And
There's
they
no
treat-
such thing.
They're trying to treat him as like a legend of Georgia football, and it's like, mate, you got 6.5 sacks. I know fuck all about American football, but I know that's nothing. That'd be like Ipswich saying that Calvin Phillips played there for 4 minutes and he's a legend.
Aiden Hutchinson got 5 sacks on Sunday.
Yeah, there you go. So many sacks.
How are the Mississippi Armadillo Munchers doing?
I do love the West Texas Rednecks. To be fair, they're great. They're a great unit.
No, we're just making up teams.
They're just chewing on
real
them
team.
pillows.
It's a real team. It's a real team. I can find the photo and put it up. If you don't acknowledge them.
No, I really don't want you to do anything. Okay, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's cool if you do absolutely nothing. That's cool with me.
Oh my god, that's best.
For those who care, in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich's up 5-0 on Bremen. Looks like everybody's scoring.
They're really
Gnabry,
publishing
Elise,
football, aren't they?
Kane, Musiala, everybody's getting into the scoring.
They're
What's that,
really
Mr.?
mad that they finished third, aren't they? Last year, like
They
they're furious.
They should be. They should be.
Yeah, but
They-
Harry Kane's also furious and taking it out on everyone as well.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got an 11 goal difference on the second place team, and they're up.
Didn't they
3
just
right
beat
now.
Dynamo Zagreb 9-2 in the Champions
They
League?
did.
Yeah. And that game
They're
was, I
5-0
think,
up away.
was that game 2-2 at one point, right? It was 2-2 or 2-1 or something
No,
like that.
it was they were 3-0 up and it went 3-2, and then Bayern went.
It was.
It was the equivalent of playing a professional snooker player at snooker, and like because like in England they used to make a lot of their money playing exhibition games in pubs. So like it'd be like pay £1,000 and you get to play Ronnie O'Sullivan for one frame of snooker, and obviously because you're paying, it'll let you have a few shots. And then basically when it gets like there's no way you could believably beat me.
Yeah.
He then tells you, put your cue away, son, and then just clears the table. That's basically what happened. Like they let Dino Pro, I believe that's how it's pronounced, score their 2 goals to make it minorly competitive, and then they just went, put your ball bags away, son. Like we're gonna take over now, and then they proceeded to score like 6 goals.
So is the company a good manager, or has he just got all the cards in his favor?
I think he has a lot of cards in his favour.
I mean, Company did a decent job, didn't he? What was it? Where was he in England? Burnley.
He did a 50% decent job.
I would argue it's a mixed bag on him.
But
I mean,
yeah, I think he's got a lot of potential as a manager. But you know,
so have I. If Bayern Munich give me the job, I'll be like, right, I'm gonna stick Harry Kane up front, lads. Get the ball to Harry Kane. He's gonna win loads of penalties.
I could do that too.
Yeah, we could all do that. Even Gary.
What do you mean? Even Gary?
Yeah, Gary could set them up like.
What's Brownie got against farmers?
Yeah, I did say
Get
that.
Where do you think his food comes from?
Yeah.
Gary would absolutely just set them up like the Florida Gators or Miami Gators or
Those corn huskers. Those
You know what? You
corn
just
huskers.
stop pressing buttons.
Hang on, sorry. Dude, like Tom the puppeteer.
You know what this is as well? This is Gary on his typewriter in 1992.
No, in 1992, I could actually type with all 10 fingers. All right. They actually taught us with typewriters, if you recall, back in the days. Not these little computer things that people are doing now. Typewriters where you had to press down with all your might. No liquid whiteout and all that kind of stuff.
Look at Stefan trying
Stefan talking sense.
Yeah, that's an oxymoron if you ever heard it.
It's a.
And this look at this. Look at him trying to talk up the Grace McLeod Methadone Clinic League. I mean, come on.
Hey, a team won the Bundesliga for the first time last year. I'd argue it's very competitive. Bayern Munich finished third. How is that not competitive?
But
the only time Rangers didn't finish first and second when they got chucked out of the league.
Yeah, what do we think is going to happen to Man City now? I mean, not what we hope. Of course, we all hope that they get dissolved as a football club. But what do we think is actually going to happen? They're going to have to get some kind of punishment, surely. Some kind of punishment.
It's going, as Gary said, slap on the wrist. They're going to fine them about £20 million. And Man City's leadership group, or whoever the owner is going to turn around and go, he'll retell this story at a party. And he turned around and he's telling it to his friends. And so the Premier League fined me £20 million. So I said, do you want it in cash?
It's like that. Wasn't there was someone who really, I think it was like a meme or something that was like on an early YouTube or something like that. There was someone who, they got some kind of fine and they didn't pay it for a long time. And the fine got bigger and bigger with all the penalty fees. And then one day they got pissed off and they showed up at the office where you pay. I can't remember where it was now, but I think it was either the UK or America. I can't remember where, but they showed up to the office where you could pay. This is back in the day when you could still pay things, by the way, in cash and everything.
It's pennies, right?
Pennies. He went up and paid the whole thing in pennies. And it was just like bags and bags of pennies. And they're just like, what the fuck are we going to do? He's like, you have to take it. It's legal tender, fucking take it. Oh, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I don't see. I think this thing has gone on too long for it to actually carry any weight and anybody to take it seriously. Like if the league really had any teeth, they would have just punished them already. All right? Like they would have punished them when they didn't get the paperwork in time, when they didn't get the paperwork at all, when they dragged their feet. You know
a way to really hurt Manchester City, really hurt them. What I would do if I really wanted to hurt them, right? Of course, you can relegate them and stuff like that, but it's not really. I mean, unless you relegate them down to the League 2 or something like that. I mean, it's gonna take. I mean, they'll come straight back up, but it's gonna do a lot of damage to them, in terms of players and stuff like that. But when they're talking about maybe doing retro, if you take 20 points the last 5 seasons, 20 points each of the last 5 seasons. So you're going to take away a lot of their titles and stuff like that. But I would also give them a 5-year transfer embargo.
Actually, it's funny how you say that.
You can't for the next 5 seasons, until the 2030-31 season, you can't buy a single player. That's what I would say to Man City.
Yeah. Now I was going to ask you what happens if they had a transfer ban for 5 years. It's funny you say that, because I that won't punish them immediately, but we know that KDB is not going to last much longer, and silver's not going to last much longer. So
Well, it means all they
you
can
know,
do is operate on. They can get loans and use. They'll have to get free transfers and loans, right? But okay, on loans they could probably figure some kind of deal where they're going to pay a loan fee or something like that. But it's still only a loan. They can't actually buy the player. They can't arrange to buy the player.
I mean, the
I
reality.
guess they could loan a player for like 5 years, though, right?
You'd have to do it a season at a time, but I don't know.
They just
At least they can't go around buying it. They can't buy a player for 100 million or something like that, or buy a player for 10 million for that reason.
Yeah.
The problem you're going to have is they're probably just. I can tell you, my thought is they'll probably get relegated to the championship, and then they'll do some sort of like transfer embargo for one season, and then they'll fine them.
Yeah.
Because you're not
Brownie, this is not the reason why it shouldn't happen. Just because I wasn't there when it happened. It's bad for football. Everybody knows it. It's bad for football. If they're done what they, everybody said.
It's also bad to kick one of your most richest franchises out or clubs out or whatever.
Hey, but if it's all false, then what's the point, right? If it's not real,
I just want you to just look at football and enjoy it, Gary. You're going to have the same referee Sunday that said he didn't want to impact the game.
Yeah,
it's
but
entertainment. Who cares if it's fair?
I care. It's not entertainment if it's not fair.
You're missing the sarcasm.
I don't want to play this game with you.
We got a lot of time.
The argument against relegation is if you're only going to relegate them down to the championship, they will very likely be able to retain a lot of their players because they'll pay them well enough to do it, and they'll win the championship like with 120 points, and they'll come straight back up. So
not only delaying it by a year.
Yeah, I don't. League Two, that might do something a bit more impactful. They'll be back up in 2 years, but still, it's like just 2 years. It's not just a 1 year thing. I don't know, but I think like a lengthy transfer embargo would probably hurt them. And yeah, like a retroactive points reduction. You say, okay, you're going to lose 20 points this year, 20 points last year, going back the last 5 years. So it means they don't have any of their last 4 Premier League titles. Arsenal get 2 Premier League titles. Yeah, I'd be interested to see how they actually tackle it. I think everyone's expecting a lenient punishment because of all the influence behind the scenes. Because Qatar is probably right now the most influential and fucking terrible, corrupt, behind the scenes nation there is on the planet, because they're pulling all the strings at the moment, everything with all their money.
Worse than the current UK government.
Pardon?
Worse than the current UK government.
Absolutely.
They can't control the UK government, but they are heavily influencing a lot of, the companies in the UK, banks and all of that. Clearly, I mean, there's so much money they're putting around into everything, influencing everything. I mean, they bought the fucking World Cup. They bought the fucking, they just go out and buy everything, because everyone's greedy. They want money.
It's about money. Everything's about money. Follow the money on everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they will. That's why, honestly, I would not be shocked if there's like a couple-year transfer embargo, and then there's like a 80 million pound some sort of massive fine. And what is that fine? What does that fine end up being to Man City? Here's your hush money.
It should be. It should be. They will never do this. But there are in terms of criminal law, right? This is not criminal law, right? It's corporate law. But in terms of like, there's certain countries, like if you get a fine in certain countries, you are fined based on your income. You will get a percentage fine based on your income, right? And if basically, if you're someone with a lot of money, it really hurts you. It's a lot of money. So, for Manchester City, if they implied that type of, I know they can't do it because it's probably not in their rules and laws or whatever, what they're operating with, but I'd love to do something like that with Manchester City. It's like, okay, you're worth what? You're worth, say, 10 billion or whatever. I'm just talking a number now. You're worth 10 billion, okay? You got to pay 4 billion. You got to pay a 40% fine on your worth as a club. So you got to play, basically, essentially play £4 billion. That would fucking hurt them.
You know what'll happen. You'll know exactly what'll happen, Sam. I know what you're going with on this, but the Qatari government will go cry to the British government. The British government will go to the Premier League and say, "Stop it."
Yeah, probably would. Yeah.
I see it all the time in my current where we enforce some sort of rule, they go high and right.
Yeah.
And what happened? Shut up and sit down. I see it all the time.
You're right, Steph. You're right.
I think you're right, Sam. Don't get me wrong. I think you're right, but it's.
Also, in a night, it's not like a perfect world. Talking about a perfect world. That's something I'd like to see happen. But we know, Spencer, you're right. We know in the way the world works today that they have too much influence. The Premier League is such a moneymaker. The Man City are making them so much money through all their various ties and everything. They will get punished. I think they will get punished, but it's not going to be a tough punishment. They're going to get a lenient punishment.
It's going to be some sort of monetary fine where at the end of the day, and going back to what you said there about, the Qatar, like what I said with the Qatari government, they could be like, hey, make this go away and we'll give you X amount of oil for X amount of years. That's what happens. They'll work some sort of political deal behind the scenes.
They're starting to control all the banking systems now. They've got they're at the top of all the banking systems. That's where all the money is. So it's like, maybe we won't, provide
Leeds missed a penalty. Leeds
we
just
won't
missed a penalty
provide
at Cardiff.
Who?
Leeds missed a penalty.
Yeah,
you're still 1-0 up, right? You're still 1-0 up.
Sam, one thing you said that I wanted to just follow up on before we get too deep into this thing is you brought up corporate law, and I wish it was corporate law, because if it was, then all the falsities that they did with their books in terms of false businesses, which is part of this, right? Are these actually real businesses that are claiming to be part of the marketing, revenue that the team's building? Because that's in itself, that's not good business, right? That's false business. That's criminal, right? If that's because that's what I think some of it sounds like it is, right? Some guy sets up
some of it
sets up a front, right, and then says, no, this business is making all this money, and that's how we can pay these marketing, money. We can take our profits and pay it back to City. So now look, voila, we sponsored you.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of what's actually happened and everything, we will see the outcome now. We'll probably, at some point, we'll see all what's coming out, in terms of the actual evidence and everything will eventually come out when the information is released. But it's some of it could turn into criminal. It could become a criminal case if there's criminality involved, or there could be corporate law involved. Right now, it's just going through the FA, through the sort of the laws within the FA, which is the laws of the Premier League, basically, which is not criminal or corporate, of course, but they have to work within their framework. But I think the outcome of this is, it could potentially become corporate and criminal for them, for some of these offences that they've committed, if they're found guilty. So the outcome could be massive, really, potentially. But I think we're all expecting it to just be like,
Stephen's got the answer.
Stefan's wrong, because Labour would have party in power when Abramovich came to England. So a lot of what you just said is bollocks.
No, the word he just said about forcing the owners to sell the club, it is not a right to own an EPL club. If you can make him sell his club based on what happened in the Russia-Ukraine incident, this is the answer. Make them sell it. You've done dishonor to the Premier League, so you need to sell this club.
Well, you see, for me, that's an easy one, because you can't really. There's nothing to go to law. There's nothing that City can do in a court of law that's going to turn that. Say they didn't.
The only thing City could do, right here, to argue against this is they just call up Barcelona, Real Madrid, and say, "Hey, what about that Super League you wanted to do?" And they can go off, and those two can fuck off and do their own Super League to get all together and play each other. Yeah, I mean, this is the answer right here.
It's a good suggestion. I mean,
it's great for Arsenal. It's a great suggestion for Arsenal.
It will destroy the Manchester City fans, unfortunately. Because if it's essentially, I don't know, if someone else could come in and take over.
But it's not a lie in the sense that they wouldn't have got there anyways. But it's a lie that they wouldn't have been as successful in the last 7 years. without.
That's
having
the
to break
problem, right? It's like how much has this influenced the last, I'm not sure how far back the charges go. I don't know. I don't think it's more than about 5 years. I might be wrong there. I'll have to check that, but I know it's not
I
going
thought it was
back.
4 years when it first started. Like they had gone back 4 years when it had first started, which is what, a year or two ago. So like say 7 years ago is when all this stuff was started to happen. But no, I think it, like I said, I think it's a joke the way the process has gone on. And if they don't find anything, like they can't just find them. That's not going to work. Not going to work at all.
Yeah, we know people with lots of money. It doesn't really, it doesn't really affect them, does it?
No.
So Stefan just said the Super League will happen in a way the new CL format has already happened. Well, the
Yes.
Champions League has already adopted a Super League format. There's no reason to make a Super League.
Yeah.
Because there is relegation.
I believe, and this could be wrong, but I believe that was all big smoke screen doing the whole we're leaving for a Super League because that Champions League format got approved during the 2 days that the Super League supposedly existed. And no one's batted an eyelid because it was just we had bigger problems at the time. This Super League, that is, I believe it was a smoke screen to make people not question that because it was the lesser of two evils on that particular morning.
I think you're partially right there, Tom. I think you're partially right. What I think happened was when they said they was going to form a Super League or threatened to do it, however you want to, put it. I think UEFA, who had already had something similar sort of in their long-term plans, got scared into having to do it straight away. They're like, oh, fuck. Mm-hmm. If we don't do this change straight away and give them something that resembles what they want to do, we're going to be fucked, because if there's none of our major teams in UEFA anymore, we're fucked. UEFA, existentially doesn't really exist anymore as it should. So they got scared into changing the format, which, like you said, happened very quickly and suddenly because they were forced into doing it by that whole Super League thing. So yeah, that's
no scrutiny of it. No one scrutinised how it would affect football because only now are the players actually being a bit like, oh, this is more football. And I know people automatically going down the wrong avenue of, in my opinion, of what you're doing. All you do is play for 90 minutes two times a week, which is in fact inherently is false because they still have to turn up for training and do the travelling that comes with this. And I know you're not feeling sorry for these individuals. They're paying a lot of money to do it. But it's still inherently lazy and wrong to just go, all you do is play football. It's like, no, every day they play football.
It is a skill few people in the world can do.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Like, no matter how easy you think it is, like there's nobody can go out there and play snooker the way some of these players play snooker where they can just run off the table without you even touching your stick, right? There's a skill to all these things. You just don't have it. You can work really hard to it. You can get to a certain level. Ollie Watkins just scored to tie things up at Villa Park real quick there. But I kind of feel like it's a skill set. And you know what? It takes many hours to play for 90 minutes at that level.
Yeah.
And that's why some players can't even do it for 90 minutes. It's really tough. It's a tough thing. In every sport you play, nobody can play at top level for 90 minutes. It's really hard to do that. They play 70, 80 minutes probably in a game. They have their lapses, but when I walked on to the track team when I was in college, I saw the difference between what athletes and then people that just work really hard. A lot of times a lot of that stuff's already there. All they're doing is just fine tuning it as a coach and a manager. They already got a lot of that stuff already in them, and sometimes some of it's genetic, some of it's just whatever, but they got it already there. So, and then they just fine tune it, and that's when you see the finished product, and it looks like, wow, how do they do this? Especially at a young age, right? Like Yamal and all those players at 17, 18-year-olds out there playing. They're not necessarily like sometimes you can build it from birth. Those are few. They already got something in there a lot of times. Genetics just works in their favors, and that's where they just pick the right sport. So for me, I just, people try to belittle the athletes and all of that. I kind of like looked at like, no, you're missing the point. It's not an hour of work. You're seeing just the finished product.
But this is classic, Gary. This is classic, and Tom. And I want to piggyback on this, but what they do in society is get you mad at the athlete instead of the people that are pulling the strings and making the money. So you're mad at the athlete. What do you mean you don't want to play more games? I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the money and the greed. And we always try to pick on other people instead of getting mad at the system that creates this. They created
I did this for free.
Yeah, great, cool, go do it. I wouldn't watch you do it. Congratulations. So it's one of these things where we need to stop putting our attention towards each other and start looking at the systems that are creating these issues. And it's easy to kind of sit here and get upset at the football that is complaining about playing 3 or 4 games a week. But like Gary said, the athlete, they have to practice, they have to do the nutrition, they have to do all this other stuff. Great, they're making $100K a week or whatever it is. But at the same time, it's not the easy work. Whatever. It just gets infuriating because at the end of the day, I think Man City is probably going to get away with this, and because people are going to get, and even if you find them, Sam, like who gets that money? Where does that money go?
It should really go to development of various things within football, right? That's what it should go to. That's the idea.
It should start with Champions League and down. Premier League don't need that money.
The money doesn't go where it's supposed to go. We know
it should go in the lower leagues, in the club teams, and all that stuff. That's where the money should go because, nobody needs it in the Premier League as much as they might take it.
There is absolutely places it should go, but where it will go is basically the Premier League is going to have one hell of a Christmas party. The Premier League and the FA, their Christmas party is going to be fantastic.
Stephen, another good point.
No, I just want to finish off the what you guys were saying about too many games and everything.
You're going to finish it off with both hands, though.
Fucking finish you off in a minute, you cunt.
Does that mean you like him, Sam? Does that mean that word? Does that mean we're friends? Is that like
I don't know whether to feel threatened or aroused.
Maybe you should feel both, Tom.
He's a little scared, but he loves it, right? He's a little scared. He's a little like, whoa, wait a second.
You can get a lot of things done if you're a little scared.
I don't know about this feeling. I feel scared, but I also kind of enjoy it. Dark times.
Oh, Jesus.
In all seriousness, sorry, Sam, you was about to say something.
Yes, before I was reprehensibly fucking interrupted. But anyway,
interrupted. Quality. Actually, in my case, more of a. Sorry, what? I'm just saying. I've got my own room. I'll stop invading it with your bollocks. I've literally got my own room, and it's dark.
It does.
It's dark, and you know what?
Dark.
I don't think we want to see what goes on at all. I think it's dark enough that's probably a good idea. It's a good thing. Sorry, Sam. You were saying.
Sorry. Yeah.
I just wanted to finish off what we were saying earlier about the players complaining about the amount of games. I don't think normal people who haven't actually sort of tried, physical activity at a high level, and by that I don't mean sex. I mean fucking, running for long periods of time, sprinting for long periods of time. The physical exertion of a 90+ minute football game for a professional footballer, it's a lot more arduous. It's a lot more telling and exhausting on the body, on the muscles, than what people realize. You got to remember that, yes, they are supremely trained from a young age. They're conditioned, nutrition, all this now, all that focus has been, brought into football, sports science and all of it in the last 20, 30 years. But at the end of the day, they're still human beings. Your muscles tear, your muscles pull. I can guarantee you, and I've read players say this I've seen players say this in interviews. I've read interviews with players. It's been said many times. A lot of players will tell you after every single football game they play, when they give 100%, which they're supposed to do, they have different small injuries that are very good. This is why you have a medical team and a physiotherapy team. A lot of their post-game work is on recovery, post-game recovery. It's that massage, getting the right nutrients, that hot and cold, all that cryogenic stuff they do now. It's all to make sure the muscles can start working again within a couple of days. It's because they exert themselves so much. I mean, that they actually, after a game, they have small pulls and things. It's that they're in pain. They're in pain after a football game. So if you think you're adding 20 games to a season, I'm maybe exaggerating it that bit now with all the international games, but you're adding like at least 10 games a season. Of course, that's going to add to the exertion level and the amount of injuries they could potentially get. And we're seeing it. The players are getting more and more injured through the last few seasons. I don't think it's just a coincidence. So at some point, they're going to have to say, okay, we're just going to have to try and, bring it down to a more acceptable level. And we'll see how they do that. But one of my examples was, scrap the Carabao Cup for the Premier League teams, just make it, like a FA Vase trophy type of thing, for the Premier League teams don't take part in the Carabao Cup, that type of thing. And in the Nations League, right? This UEFA Nations League rubbish. I mean, come on, get rid of that for fuck's sake. I mean, it's no one cares about it. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it.
That could work for...
You arrogant fuckers. Arsenal fans, arrogant fuckers. How fucking dare you sit and just not do the Carabao Cup when a lot of clubs in the lower reaches of the Football League need the fucking money that comes from this.
Yeah, so they can fucking have a better chance of winning then, can't they, Tom?
Well, if we really want to cut out games, why don't we
still end up losing to you?
September international break we just went through. Like, I could care less about watching the U.S. play New Zealand. I could just care less. I'd rather go to work than watch that. Why are we doing these games?
I do go to work instead of watching that.
Listen, we started the season in August. We played 3 games and we got to go on international break and play Hungary versus Kazakhstan or who cares?
Well, I mean, the one thing they do in the women's game is they continue on with their season and they just play them. Sometimes you leave, sometimes you don't, right? So it doesn't have to be everybody takes the time off, right? I mean, if the league is running or whatever, they can decide not to. They can't, right? But you know what? They've I think they've signed. Oh, looks like Leeds is up 2-0. Let's see who scored here.
Cheer up, Tom. Cheer up, Tommy boy.
It's Joel Pirou.
But then there's the other side of that, Sam. Like Brownie's comment, players in the championship more games.
Well, first of all, Brownie doesn't know the difference between his arsehole and a hole in the ground.
But here's the counterpoint.
He's right.
He does know the difference.
Championship players, of course, they complain. They do complain. They play 46 games, but they don't play. They don't play all the international games, and they don't play the fucking Champions League.
Here's the callous of that. Well, there'll just be another kid to play. Just that's because there's kids born every day that are going to play football 18 years from now. So it doesn't matter. There's always someone that's going to play it. There's always someone that doesn't want to work that shit job that's going to go play for $10K a week or whatever it is. So at the end of the day, who cares about the players at the top? Who cares if we see greatness? Let's just water it down. Fuck it. Who cares? So
game's still not over, lads, because we went 3-0 up against Cardiff once and drew 3-3. So
how much time is left on the clock, Mr. Tom?
Well, right now there's about 2.5 minutes.
Come on, Brownie.
Stoppage time.
Come on, Brownie. A lot of the players in the Championship did not play fucking international football.
To be honest, half the Leeds team were away on international break, to be fair.
Yeah.
I know your point is we're not. Yeah. Bristol City are unlikely to be in that situation. I appreciate that.
The same will go for the Championship.
Reece Nelson just scored for Fulham, so they're up 3-1 on Newcastle. So lots of scoring today.
It's not talking about reducing the games in the league. It's about, I think, trying to reduce the games outside of the league that are, probably not that necessary. Especially international games.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many international games now. I mean, we've got another international break coming up now in October.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the fact that you have an international tournament and then like not even a month into the season,
100%.
you're already on a international break, and then not even a month after that, you're into another international break. You can't play proper football. You can't play any sport that way because it's one thing to travel up the coast, you know, it's a bus ride or it's a flight for an hour plus, but it's another thing that I'm gonna have to fly on the other out to another country and then perform and then come back and then perform. Not, nah. You know what? Have just 1 month off then if you really want to do it, right?
It's the
It
same
really
thing.
has to be done. It needs to be a month off. It can't be these 2 week breaks. They don't really get any. You don't get the players you want when they play, and two, when they come back, they're beat up from all the travel and everything that goes along with it. So you're hurting the sport once again. This is all just about, is it good for football? It's not good for football. They need to find a better way.
And this is exactly how life works, though, in general. Your job will use the hell out of you, and if you don't like it, they'll find someone else.
Yeah.
Same thing with footballers. Sure, they're compensated more. Congratulations. Stop thinking like that. But it's the same principle.
Yeah.
Brownie, tell me, do you think more players are international players in the Premier League or not? It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to get through your thick skull, which I know is very thick, right? Is it's going to be the same for everyone, to try and reduce the amount of international games, try and reduce the amount of silly other games that don't need to be played. It will benefit the players because they'll be fresher and you'll be able to see better performances. The Euros was terrible. People don't talk about that enough. Apart from a few games here and there and a couple of the last games, the games were terrible. They were boring. You could see the players were tired. The players were visibly knackered. That's why the tempo was a lot lower. The intensity was a lot lower. The quality wasn't quite there in a lot of it. And it's because they played too many games. You can't keep up that level that much. It's not possible. So you've got to try and adjust it somehow to keep up the quality. I would rather have fewer games. And again, I don't want to have fewer league games.
Yeah.
I'm talking about other games outside of the league. I'd rather have fewer games so you get high quality, fresher legs than keep adding games. We want to see games. We want to see games. We want to see this. We want to see that. And the players are knackered. They're not going to play their best. I fully believe that.
100%, Sam. And more doesn't mean better quality.
No, exactly.
I mean,
It never has, right? It never has.
Fondness makes the heart. What is that? Distance makes the heart grow fonder. So I'll give you a prime example. NASCAR brought in dirt racing for a little bit, and it was a kind of that little niche thing, and people were excited for it. And they kept doing it, and now people don't care. After a while, the novelty and the excitement wears off if you keep pushing it. I don't know about you guys, but when the Euros came, I was really ready for a break from football for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I consider myself a multi-sport.
And the players were too. That's the way it went. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm a
multi-sport
multi-sport
scored
fan.
late for those who want to know. There's 1-1 in extra time. So somebody might be happy with that.
Well, I'm a multi-sport fan, Gary, and I know you are as well. I like having the NFL in the fall, and then I take a break from it in the spring, right? And then I can watch football, I can watch rugby, then I can watch baseball in summer. There's different things. I don't want football to be year round. I don't know. We need to really reevaluate what we're doing with some of these things. And like Sam said, we don't need less league games. If anything, we need less Champion Leagues game, less FA, whatever. Figure out what you're going to do. But something needs to change for the long-term health of the game. And stop just chasing the money. Because eventually, what are you going to do?
Villa just scored late. Konza scored a goal.
Villa turn around a lot of games, don't they? But anyway, back to this. You see now with the international breaks, right? You see now that teams are not and players are not cooperating with the national teams as much as they used to, because there are players now that they're withholding. They're saying they're injured or not. They're not feeling up to it. So there are players who aren't going to play international games that they deem not quite as important. We've seen that a lot happening lately, and I think it's due to this. I think it's because they think, okay, I've been playing a lot of games. I'm feeling a little bit tired. I don't want to go and play the international game, and I think we're seeing more and more of that, So they've got to look at this and try and do something about it. And Brownie's point, a player can say he's tired and doesn't want to play, but how often does that happen? A star of a football team is going to say, "No, I don't want to play today because I'm tired." I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's a bad look.
That doesn't happen.
The teams should do it, but the teams align to each other as well, right? Like I don't, my player. Like you can't say my player is on the cusp of maybe getting an injury if he could.
And Ferguson was sending away players back in the 90s because there wasn't that many international games. The Champions League wasn't fucking 32, 36 teams.
Yeah.
It was back then there was more of an opportunity for players to go on a break if they needed it. It's a different time. I know Brownie lives in the fucking 1980s, but I mean, come on.
I mean, think about it. Like we had players that didn't want to go to Brazil, the international. And I think Jesus held out and they tried to punish us over that. Well, let's be real here. What if Jesus and Martinelli were like, dude, I need a break. I don't want to go sit there and listen to another different manager. Like that is something to keep in mind too. Like,
do you know what Brazil actually did for a long period of time?
No,
they actually centered their international operations in Europe. They used the Emirates for several games.
Yep.
And actually the Brazilian setup, the international setup was in London and it was in Paris because they knew the majority of their players were in Europe. So they did a lot of training and everything. Apart from home games, of course, for big tournaments and everything, they'd go back to Brazil. But for a lot of like friendly games and games that weren't that important, they played them in Europe and they did all their training in Europe because they knew then that most of the players that were in Europe, they didn't have to do all that traveling backwards and forwards. So I think that was a pretty good idea.
Why does he always do this? It's not just a one-time thing. It's been building up to this, and we just saw why we don't like it in the first place. Brownie, it's not a one-time thing. It's like, oh, now it's poor, it's over. No, it's been building this way over and over and over.
Brownie just likes to talk shit. Brownie just likes to talk shit. He just likes to talk shit. He does it all day long, and he loves it. And he's here for the action.
It's not I don't even know what that means, but no, I think if it's all about the money, once the product doesn't look good, like in Copa America, it was terrible. Think about it, like football in general, right? People will say Manchester United being poor is funny, but for football, it's poor because you've lived most of your life knowing that Manchester United were one of the top teams in the league, and that's in the world, right? Now they're not. That's not necessarily always good it's good for your team, but for football, it says, look, things can things can make football not so good anymore when teams aren't competing anymore because that just lowers the entertainment value of it, right? Like beating United right now means absolutely nothing. Beating United 10, 20 years ago meant something big. You beat one of the top teams, right? Beating Barcelona right now isn't really like, well, we beat Barcelona. It's not the same anymore, right? They go through cycles, of course, but they always stay towards the top, right? Now with the influx of money, I think, and money, I put it in quotes because some teams, their money isn't the same money, right? Now you can just jump the gun, right? You can just skip the line, right? Basically, and not necessarily build up a good squad to build up a big rapport with all the fans. Villa just scored again. They're like, wow, okay. The clock's, dude, the clock is just running. Duran just scored. That Duran kid, like, he's just scoring, right? Everybody, I think, were people laughing at that, like, that player, right? Wasn't he the player? People were like, why are they picking him up? And all he's doing is just scoring goals. And Cardiff has lost. So how long to their manager? 2-0 it was. Yep.
Yeah, Leeds. You're happy now, Tom?
Yeah. Got
No,
out
I-
of Cardiff with a
Don't
win.
get too happy, Tom. Don't get too happy. Don't get too
I
carried
don't know.
away.
How am I supposed to react? We were expected to win the game, and we won the game.
Ooh.
Oh, look at this man, just trying to talk all like proper and everything.
You're allowed to be happy, Tom. You're allowed to be happy.
Yeah. Your team wins and you're like this. Your
Nope.
team loses and you're gonna
Nope.
give me some drama for like a whole week. You won't even talk to me. I gotta pull teeth just to get you to smile at me.
To be fair,
The
Gary,
team wins
the
and I'm
amount of
still
weeks where I
pulling
just
teeth to
don't
get you to
talk to
smile
you
at
is
me.
probably not as rare as you're making it out. But no,
Every time.
nah, it's you know what? Nice result. Need the points. Got the points.
You know what? Look at this guy. Dude, stop it. It's football. You know
What am I meant to do? Bend over, pull my arse
This
cheeks,
guy,
and go,
you like
here's
go-
what
you
I
go
think
to-
Cardiff Brownie, you're shit, and make it look like my arsehole saying it. What am I meant to do?
Tom, Leeds doesn't win very often. Why don't you just, enjoy it when it happens?
You're like a football fan that goes to the game in a suit and tie, drinking tea, right? That's what you're doing, and you're
You
doing
know
one of
damn well
these
that's not
when
true.
they have a good play, right? That's what you're acting like.
Okay.
You're supposed to be a proper fan, right? You're a proper Leeds fan. You can
Well,
tell me the
let's
history.
see you jump up and take your shirt off and wave it around and.
There you go. Well,
Yeah, I do when it's important, when we win important games.
How often has that happened in the last 10 years?
Poor games. Oh, Brownie's gonna like that.
Yeah. Oh, see, he's just gonna. Dude,
We've
dude,
got another manager sacked. That doesn't please me.
it's not good for football, right?
No, I like keeping people in jobs.
No, but I mean, you know what? Is it a poor job on his side, or are you blaming
probably.
football?
Well, football inherently has become such a results business that it's a lot cheaper to just sack the manager, pay him off, and then get a new one, rather than replace 11 players in the team by buying new ones. So, part and parcel of it, I suppose.
Shall we go through the final results then in the various leagues?
Let's do it real quick. I'll do the Premier League. You guys can fill in the rest. Yeah. There we go. Premier League, as I said, West Ham loses at home to Chelsea 3-0. Villa at home to Wolves wins 3-1. Fulham at home beats Newcastle 3-1. Leicester Everton 1-1 draw. Liverpool beats Bournemouth 3-0 at home. Southampton at home draws to Ipswich. That team wins 3-1 home to Brentford. And later on, in about 30 minutes, Crystal Palace welcomes Manchester United to the fray. So, you want to go some more? Let's go even
Yeah,
deeper.
we need the Northumberland Disabled League.
Let's go to Scotland. Here we go. Ross County
Oh,
and St. Johnstone finish with a 3-3 draw. Oof. St. Mirren finishes with a 2-1 win at home. In the championship, Norwich early game wins 4-1 over Watford. QPR 1-1 draw with Millwall. Sunderland at home to Middlesbrough wins 1-0. Bristol City at home beats Oxford United 2-1. Burnley at home beats Portsmouth 2-1. Cardiff at home, down a man, loses to Leeds 2-0. Coventry at home to Swansea loses 1-2. Luton at home beats Sheffield United, who was down a man 2-1. So Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday loses to Luton. Sheffield United beats Derby 1-0 at home. West Brom still playing in the extra time is up 1-0 on Plymouth.
That's full time now.
In League One, Exeter beats Stevenage 2-0 at home. Lincoln and Wigan played a 0-0 draw. Bolton at home beats Reading 5-2. Burton loses at home to Barnsley 1-2. Charlton loses to Blackburn at home 1-2. Huddersfield loses at home to Northampton, who had a man sent off. They lose 3-1. Mansfield at home beats Shrewsbury 2-1. Peterborough United beats Bristol Rovers at home 3-2. Rotherham, I think that's how you say that, beats Birmingham 2-0 at home. Stockport loses at home to Leyton Orient 1-4. Wrexham beats Crowley 2-1 at home. Wickham beats Cambridge at home 2-1. Do you want to go further? League Two?
How's
Good.
Transmere doing?
Transmere loses 3-0 on the road to Colchester.
Terrible.
MK Dons and Doncaster both lost players. 1-1 draw. Swindon, I think that's Swindon Town, right? Loses to Carlisle 2-1 at home. Yeah. All right. Anything else anybody want to hear?
No, I think we covered it pretty well there.
Yep.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. We've got all the scores in. Go on. It's all right. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we head out of here? It is. Wow, it's 2 hours. Goes really goes fast. Anybody?
No, I'm good.
All right. My Florida Gators are playing in a couple minutes.
Yeah, we're getting ready to kick off.
So, all right, people. Before we go, I'll let everybody have their say, and then we will get out of here. All right, Spencer, what say you?
Happy Saturday, everybody. About to do another 10 hours of watching college sports, and then tomorrow I'll do the Arsenal game, and then 10 hours of the NFL. So happy Saturday and Sunday, everybody. This is the best time of year. It's like Christmas. I think we're going to win tomorrow 1-0. I don't care if I'm right or wrong, but that's what I'm predicting. So take that, Man City.
There you go. Sam?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for having me on as usual. It's always a good laugh. We always have a good discussion, a few jokes. It's always good fun. Thanks for everyone in the chat taking part as usual. Makes the show fun. And yeah, everyone have a great Saturday, rest of your weekend, and let's hope Arsenal get a good result at the Etihad tomorrow against the dirty, cheating, horrible, disgusting Manchester City.
Good description. Mr. Tom.
Oh, hello everyone. Sorry, just playing my phone call my eye. It was all right being here. I've had better. Sorry. Why is Gary acting like that? That's can't possibly be true. I've been the best you've ever had on a Saturday. Like, not sure if that's true. Anyway, no. In all seriousness, it was an honour to be here. Stefan. Sorry, don't mind me, Stefan. You carry on. Rearranging your schedule for the night. I'll just sit and watch. It's all right. Brownie, are you going on Pigos tonight? I'll do it out loud. I'll do it for you, Stefan. Brownie, are you going on Flying Pigo to watch Manchester United at Crystal Palace? Are you going there? Yes, no, cool, whatever. And seriously, it was fun. It was more fun when Leeds scored, admittedly. Nice professional win. I'm going to be on the internet. Stefan, he said he may go on there. In case he's not looking at his phone. See, I'm doing this is for the audio version. There's some people, I don't know if you know this, Gary. Some people listen to our show. They don't watch it. They listen. So I could be sitting here doing sign language and all kinds of stuff. They won't know because we're not the audio version, a bit different. And yeah, sorry. We should actually have someone that sits off at the side going, Sam's doing the finger thing again. And then Gary's trying the finger thing, although it's more like sausages.
Are you done?
But no, kind of. But no, in all seriousness, Misfits just trying to upset me by telling me Villa 1-3-1. But no, in all seriousness, thank you for having me on. I'm clearly not going to be on next week. So there's going to be a banning effect, I suspect. That rhymed. Effect and suspect. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, we only spawned the language, so I shouldn't have to teach it. But no, yeah, again, it was good fun. It was good fun. My favourite bit was when I sat here and watched the Leeds goals on my phone.
Oof. All right, people. And that was Mr. Tom's outro, which took like as long as the entire show. Now that he got that, like, whatever, 20 minutes back. Thank you again for joining us. We'll do this again next week. October is going to be a busy week for me, so Mr. Tom, actually, Mr. Tom might be on. Well, he'll probably be on the shows, and I won't in some cases because I'll be traveling. So we'll see
Did
how
you
this
say
all plays out.
October's going to be a busy week for you?
For busy time for me. I'll be traveling. Traveling. I'll be. Where am I going to be?
Do you want me to host your Monday night shows as well?
Early October, I will be. Well, you know what? You know what's going to be weird? I'll be in England. I'm gonna realize what it's like to do a show at 12:30 a.m.
Yeah, I won't be here the last week of October.
Yeah, this is early October. I'll be in England, so
I won't be here for the second week in October.
There you go. So we're gonna be busy, people. But anyways, we'll be back. We'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us. We'll do this again. Yep, everybody. And we'll see you guys in the next one. And as I like to say,
life is a journey. Don't wait your trip. There you go.
hello, guys.
Hello.
Spencer, are you watching the game by yourself? Or you got family there?
Still live, Gary.
Huh?
You're still live.
I'm still alive. Not in a second, no.